Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at Meta Platforms. For those of you who don't know what Meta Platforms is, this is a reconstructed version of Facebook or something like that. Hard to tell. They just I think they brought Oculus Rift out and then they got confused about what their main business was, and now they're just trying to flush their company down the drain. Enjoy. So, as usual, we're using the SWOT analysis technique to work out what to do with this company. That is the strength of the company, the weakness of the company, the opportunities of the market, and the threats the market hold towards this company. That way we can just work out whether it's worth investing in or not. Very simple. Okay, so if you're wondering why we're using a puppet for this issue today, it's because Mark Zuckerberg started this. For some reason he decided to change Facebook into Meta and create a virtual reality universe from one company rather than doing this as two separate companies like every other entrepreneur on the planet. So let's start off with the simple stuff. The core of the company is that it's trying to do virtual reality. Now it's going to have a lot of technicians behind it from Facebook itself. Whether they can translate everything over to virtual reality is not yet been determined. It's a really weird thing to do. I mean, there are plenty of other entrepreneurs out there that have done miraculous things with their companies, but generally they tend to start a brand new company off rather than trying to adapt what was already there. So can they do this? Well, I don't know. It's hard. I'm trying to use SWOT analysis on this to look at the strengths and the weaknesses, but the only real strength is they've got some great technicians behind them, presumably because Facebook is such a large company and is in everybody's house. Pretty much it was ubiquitous for a very, very long time. So I think we'll leave it there for the strengths because I can't see any further ones. Okay, so Meta Platforms Inc., which is the full name of the company, used to be called Facebook Inc. We know that, we've discussed that already within the past 3 seconds. Okay, so what does the company own already? It owns Facebook, it owns Instagram, it owns WhatsApp. These are very simple apps by today's standards. There might have been lots of code in the past, but now they're just these tiny little things which most people can put together themselves, and any first year students doing any kind of software engineering course could probably pull it off quite easily. So although it used to be one of the big 5 companies, it's dwindling like crazy because it's decided to take on this new task of becoming Meta. Now Meta is supposed to be this kind of world of, how can I put it, it's a virtual reality place where all your avatars are supposed to come together to do something. Looks like a glorified computer game, basically. That simple. But yet somehow they're going to, we're all going to live in virtual reality? Yeah, I don't see it. I'm not entirely sure how they're doing this. They've also acquired a lot of bigger companies along the way to pull this off. Things like Oculus, which does these incredible virtual reality headsets. We're not going to go around in big giant virtual reality headsets. We're simply not. So how they're going to pull this off, how they're going to move forward, I don't know. I really genuinely don't know how this company's going to go forward. It made sense where it was before because it was essentially it was like the big store in a large shopping centre, which allowed other people to come in and do whatever they wanted to do. This isn't going to be that way because no matter what the film studies we're going to do, we're not going to be in virtual reality. That's because virtual reality is just a distraction from this world, and it's something you do when you're a kid. It's not going to be something you can do for general business. I don't know where they're going with this. There are other companies that can do it much cheaper, much better, and their high-end Oculus kit is over $1,500. I think this is something that they'll have to reverse at some point in the future. Okay, so hold up. Why are we here? If we're going to discuss a company that's this big, why are we here? What do we see in this company that's worth investing in? Okay, so this is a simple truth. If you just take the original Facebook model, which has still millions of daily active users. Its actual revenue has increased constantly by at least 20% each and every year since it was founded. There is still a very, very big market for online communication, let's put it that way. Social media, doing business online, communicating with your friends, your family, all that is still online. It's still big, there's still lots of money. It's still a growth sector to a certain extent, even if tech stocks are being hit very, very hard at the moment. So yeah, if you just treat Facebook as it was, then advertising revenue alone is going to keep that going and is going to add value to the company. That's probably it really, because that's really all Meta is. It's Facebook. There's not really anything coming in from anywhere else. You can take Instagram and all the other small communication apps that go around Facebook, but they're just auxiliaries to Facebook itself. If you ignore all the VR Meta platform stuff, which really it should be a separate company. So what could take down the Meta platform? Well, it's got a lot of rivals. The principal one being reality. Most people still like to kind of meet in person, or at least through some sort of interaction visually with one another. So anything that allows communication face to face is going to be a threat to it. Now, Facebook itself works because it's kind of like a letter between friends and family, where you show photos, you show videos, and a lot of people like that. There are many rivals on the platform. Now Twitter's been bought out by Elon Musk. I can see that moving in that direction because Elon seems to be the type of person that likes to kind of poke all the other billionaires and take the mickey out of them. So I think the main threat would be users going elsewhere at the moment, and it's not like it's a small market. It might be big, but Meta platform has also lost well over a third. Yeah, it's a third the size it was a year ago. Now most techno stocks are down, but that's quite bad for any company, and I honestly don't know where it's going to go in the future. Okay, so overall the picture of Meta Platforms is that it's become a confusing company. It's gone from a company which was very simple, made sense, although they were kind of mean in not giving everybody dividends, which most tech companies don't, and I think it's quite unfortunate, especially given that this is one of the largest companies in America. It's one of the main 5 digital companies they've got. Now that it's decided to take on virtual reality within the same company, under the same roof, and then change the name to the new company rather than creating a second company, do I think it's worth investing in? Well, I wouldn't. I think it's too confusing for what it wants to be. If it had been 2 separate companies, I would have said yes, that's fine. There's always going to be value in the company because revenues are always going to go up, and hopefully one day maybe they'll start doing dividends, which I think is one of the most important parts of investing in any company. It should have dividends. It can't just be about value. Now it's decided to start messing about with virtual reality aimlessly, very, very aimlessly. I think this is a company that should be parked off to one side and just left where it is, because you're not going to get anything out of it. The stock price is always going to go in one direction until they've worked out what they want to do. If they were able to bring dividends out, I would say yes, go in there, invest, because basically the advertising revenue on this company is colossal. But they're not doing anything new, and this just all smacks of vanity from Mark Zuckerberg. So I'd leave it there if I were you. But that's your choice. You should go out there, you should see what you want to invest in. Don't just kind of be swayed by my words. Okay? Alright, I'll see you next time.